Okay, so today I'm going to do a video where I do half of my face with makeup because as you can see, I have very, very severe rosacea. You can see it down my neck. I even get it in my eyes. I have ocular rosacea. And you know, it's the thing that you see on elderly people when their noses are very, the skin is thickened. Same thing, that's what I have. So there are some expensive treatments for it, topical treatments that I haven't opted to do because for a tube this big, we're talking $200. And I'm like, no, poodle. And so I have found a way that I feel like covers it up really, really well. And it doesn't hurt me. It's not itchy or irritated for me. I think there are itchy forms. I don't have that form. So all I'm gonna do today is just show you how I cover up my rosacea with makeup. So let me get my hair out of the way. And by no means am I a makeup expert. I am a hairdresser, so I guess I have a certain amount of knowledge that maybe some people don't have, but technically I'm really not an expert. I'm just a regular person. So this makes more sense. It's called Bye Bye Redness. This one is the Bye Bye Pores. Bye Bye Redness. So it's a super thick, I'm gonna call it a primer, I guess, for lack of a better term, but it is super, super intense. So I dipped my brush in barely. That is way too much, way too much. So I'm gonna take a bunch of that off. So I'm gonna start with literally the smallest amount I can get on my brush possible. And I'm going to personally have to be very careful with that because I don't wanna enhance the texture. There is a texture to the rosacea. There's a bumpy texture as well. So it's not just redness, it's a texture as well. So that's the first layer. And at some point, like, you're gonna be using it and you'll sort of feel it set. Like, I don't feel like even if I were to hug you, that wouldn't come off of my... Okay, so now I'm applying foundation just quickly. I happen to not be extremely brand loyal when it comes to foundation. In this case, I'm using the Revlon Photo Ready Insta Filter in the color Sand Beige, which is 210. So I applied it lightly. I'm buffing it into my skin. I can apply foundation to my eyelids because I have very, very dry skin, which is a direct result of the rosacea itself. Now I'm applying concealer, which is the Milani Erase and Retouch concealer. Is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. With rosacea, you do also get enlarged pores. So, you know, again, it's kind of that balance between the dewiness that you would want to look like youthful and the matteness that you would want to cover up the rosacea, the texture, the bumpiness, and the pores. So, what's wrong, Poodle? What's wrong? Do you want down? Why are you crying? So, it's all a balance. Like, you want to use the littlest amount of product that you can get away with. And the minimal amount of powders. But I do have to set, I mean, I put quite a few layers of creamy products on my face, so I do have to set it with the powder lightly. I put the powder on heavy here, and then very, very light dusting everywhere else. So that is my skin covered. Okay, so I have my skin covered now. This is what my skin looks like uncovered. Total rosacea, texture, mess. This side looks a lot better, but it's really flat looking, right? So now I have to go ahead and add my face back in. People say, oh, apply it to your crease, which for me would be here. As you can see, my crease is so deep, you can't even see the brush anymore. I would never want to highlight that. Like, if I packed on dark color way in there, I would literally look like I just had the deepest set eyes. So for me, I mean, deep set eyes aren't ugly, but they're not, I don't want to highlight that crease even further. It would be very, very aging. So I'm just pushing it back. And you do that in stages. So the next I'm going to do a light brown. So that was like a gray. So I'm trying to make a gradation of dark. So it looks like and this may not be technically correct way to apply your makeup, but I feel like for me, it just gives me the illusion that I have an eyelid and a crease, and you know, lifts up a bit. So because I can't do a ton of shiny stuff, it's fun to have fun where you can. So the one spot on my face where I don't have a ton of wrinkles, but I'm also not highlighting any too much of my rosacea texture, is here. So I like to use a little bit of a liquid. I like a liquid highlighter personally because the powdery ones, again, just settle into my fine lines. You know, you can get like a little powder highlight easy anywhere. But I like to have a little shine on my face. Okay, so this is the look completed on half of my face. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I have some contours, some highs and some lows. My eyes look cute. I like, my kids call it my littlest pet shop eyes, and there's my skin normal. So here it is, a slow-mo pic of my face done and undone. Here's the finished look, and here I am feeling myself. I hope you enjoyed.